If you've tried meditation, you'll already know the journey into stillness requires a lot of patience. The writings of yoga describe a process to meditation that looks, on paper at least, to be rather easy, doable, achievable. For example, the 8 limbs of yoga outline a step-by-step guide to reaching enlightenment in a way that almost reads like painting by numbers. You can't go wrong. But how many times have you sat down to meditate, only to observe a mind full of rapid thoughts moving in all directions and seemingly without control? If this has happened to you, then you're not alone. In fact, you're even in the majority. Even the master yogis were human, and the very reason for the 8 limbs of yoga and other guidelines was so that we would have handrails to hold when the mind, the ego or life threatened to knock us over. Classical yoga texts tell us that the last 3 of Patanjali's limbs, Dharana, deep concentration, Dhyana, awareness of existence, and Samadhi, oneness or enlightenment, are to be practiced once we have a foundational understanding of yoga's basic principles: the physical practice of yoga, the yoga asana, control of the mind through the breath, pranayama, and control of the senses, pratyahara. So, what does it mean to practice dharana and dhyana? We can think of dhyana as proper meditation, that our experience of dhyana is made possible by a sustained practice of dharana. Dharana requires effort. It requires us to focus the mind on one breath, one mantra, one sensation, taking notice of each raindrop as it falls from the sky. Our stream of conscious thoughts hopping from one to the other, a little out of control. Dhyana is a stream of water droplets flowing without pause. In other words, when we train the mind to return its focus to the present moment over and over again, eventually there is no pause between these moments, and we experience pure present awareness or meditation. Dharana requires effort. Dhyana is effortless. An example of how yogis use dharana to move into dhyana is with mala beads or mantra meditation. You might have noticed that I often wear a set of beads around my wrist when I come to practice. When meditating, you close your eyes and touch each bead. With every touch, repeat a mantra to yourself or refocus your awareness on your breath. Your mantra can be as simple as you like, perhaps even just the word breathe. And at first, you'll have to re-harness your awareness on every bead. Between every touch, you'll observe the brain's habitual desire to chase another thought, another memory, another emotion or idea, or even watch it drift off as you become distracted by a thought, by a sound or some other sense. But with continued practice, dharana's duration will last for 2 beads, then 3, then for an entire mala of 108 beads, until you're seated in a steady stream of pure awareness. If you're using a mantra, it will begin to flow effortlessly without exertion of the mind, and you'll begin to experience a level of awareness that is distinct from the influence of any thoughts. It's here, yogis say, that we begin to learn and discover our true nature. Personally, I like to think of dharana and dhyana as a little bit like learning to drive. When we first begin to learn to drive, everything takes concentration. We become acutely aware of our surroundings, the road, pedestrians, out-of-control dogs, road signs, road markings. And then we have to handle the car too. Our senses, our conscious mind are in overload. Gears, pedals, indicators, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Occasionally we're even aware of the screaming instructor, the screaming struggling parent or the sibling. But in practice, we get behind the wheel each time. And each time it becomes a little easier to focus. each time we're a little closer to the blissful feeling of our first legal solo drive. And eventually, dhyana comes. In dhyana, we drive without effort, almost without thinking. Often, I've made a journey from A to B, and on reaching my destination, wondered how on earth I got there. But perhaps I shouldn't admit to that. Dharana leads to dhyana. Practice leads to mastery. Effort leads to effortlessness. It's a lesson we can take off the mat into our daily lives every day. Namaste.